The views expressed in this podcast, Champ and Tramp, belong to the host and guest, not the Champ and Tramp podcast itself. It's intended for entertainment information, so please use discretion. We're not responsible for any outcomes resulting from the content discussed. If you're looking for a high-quality, lactose-free protein, look no further. MuscleMeds has got you covered with their new Carnivore RTD Variety Pack.
Their Variety Pack comes with both the Carnivore and the Carnivore Protein Hydration RTDs in 5 flavors.
For the Carnivore RTD, you get the chocolate, vanilla, cupcake, and fruity cereal, which all have 40 grams of beef protein, no fat, no sugar, no lactose.
And for the Carnivore Protein Hydration, you get Berry Blast and Rocket Pop, which has 30 grams of protein plus key electrolytes to hydrate you after those intense training sessions.
Now's your chance to find the lactose-free protein you love with Carnivore. Let's
go, baby.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, FE. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. We're never tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the Champ and the Tramp, let the bomb blast.
We got a good one for you guys tonight. 2-time Super Bowl champ, Jonathan Casillas, JC as everybody calls him, played for New Orleans Saints, New England Patriots, New York Giants, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Did I get them all?
Yes, sir.
It's Casillas, no?
Yeah.
Casillas, all right.
So
all right.
I love when I go to like
This guy.
Spanish countries. They go, Jonathan Casillas. I say, yeah. That's me, baby.
All right. I won't get it wrong twice, but all right, my man. So I had the pleasure of meeting you. We have a mutual friend, Tobias, right? I got the pleasure of hanging out with you at a beach club, tiki bar.
Good time.
Just totally down-to-earth, humble guy. And I said, dude, we got to get you on the podcast. And you were like, absolutely, man. So thank you. Thank you for making time for us. Thank you for coming on, man. So you started your NFL journey in 2009?
Yeah, 09, my first year. Went undrafted to New Orleans.
Yes.
You know, Jersey guys, we got a lot of pride.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit hurt, boy.
Yeah,
I was supposed to get drafted, not getting drafted, but then, right away I won a Super Bowl my rookie year. I was a part of the onside kick, recovered the onside kick. So it was like, all right, I'm doing all right. I started out okay. Not where I wanted, but you know how it is I feel like if I would have got drafted, maybe let's say I would have got drafted to New York and I'd have been in New York and the Jets or the Giants and I'm hanging out with my Jersey guys, who the fuck knows what would have happened?
Yeah, right.
And I got a little bit more money than I had. Not that I was broke coming into the league, I was broke coming into the league. It wasn't like I was broke after my first year. I had a couple dollars in the bank. But at the end of the day, I know how much money I lost out on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know I lost out on $1 million not getting drafted. You know what I mean? But I had that chip. And I think that shit just propelled me through my career, bro.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about that. I did a little research, watched some podcasts and stuff you were on, and I think you had a conversation with your mom, if I have that right, where you just said, look, I'm going to outwork somebody for that position. I didn't get drafted, so I'm going to take somebody's spot. And you did, right? Yeah.
But I knew that's what it took.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the game still to this day. I watch a lot of sports. The top 3 sports I watch is probably football, boxing, UFC. In really no order. You know what I mean? I love the violent sports. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a fan of football, and I kind of knew I was up against a tall task, even if I got drafted. Right. But going undrafted is how many guys you see throughout the year make teams going undrafted? Yeah. The one guy that does it, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah, right.
So it's for me, I knew I had a nice long road in front of me, but I was like, look, bro, I'm here for it. I know I'm good enough to play. I'm gonna prove some of these motherfuckers wrong. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Frankie, I mean, you got a little similar story. Was that you were gonna share where you tried out for the Tough House?
I tried for tough. I listened to a couple stuff and you gotta find your Zeke. Right?
Yeah, bro. Shout out Derek Gamble, man.
Yeah. I saw that too. Yeah.
I mean, I get like that. People telling you can't do something. That's probably the best thing they could tell you.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And when I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter, actually, I got called up. The way it used to work out, you get called up. You got to grapple in front of Dana, and Dana White's there, and you go up, and I'm shaking his hand. First thing he said to me, he's like, "You don't look like a 55-pounder," and I'm like,
"But you wasn't, was you?"
I was. I weighed 55. But I'm like, I just fought 170 2 fights ago.
Yeah.
He's like, "What?" I did. I bumped up last minute, and I choked some dude out. But yeah, I was like, "Damn, this motherfucker saying that right away," And I didn't get picked, so I was like, "Damn." You know, I thought I was gonna get picked too. Like I did really good in the tryout and everything, and I thought I was gonna get picked. And the kid I went with, he got a call back before we landed, and I'm like, damn, I didn't get a call. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to find a different way to get in. You know, but yeah, I understand that where you know. Being told you can't do something, that's definitely motivating.
The underdog story.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's like Frankie Edgar was like, of course, fucking everybody loves Frankie Edgar. And I just recently watched, I don't know how I didn't see it. Well, all of like your peers just talking about you, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
dope,
how good did that
For his
feel?
retirement,
That's better than anything. You know,
Yeah, bro.
people that are in it with you, if you get the respect from them, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And you know, you went out on your shield, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a tough ass motherfucker would from Jersey would do that. But like when I heard that, I'm like, man, I didn't even know that all of these dudes had such appreciation and respect for you. And like then I got comparisons to myself because like I feel like I'm not really that old, but in football years I'm old.
Yeah, right.
I'm 38 years old. That's old as fuck, especially playing linebacker. And it make you feel like when they say, "Oh man, I watched them growing up." It's like, bitch, I'm not that much older than you, bro.
I know. Bro, the worst, like, I'll go to like my kid stuff, and some kid will come like, "You're my grandfather's favorite." Fun with your grandfather. Damn.
You know what I get? Like I'll go to Jenks or something like that. I was nothing to do with being an athlete, but the little bit of time I was on TV, go to Jenks where it's all like young 20-something-year-olds, and a couple smoke shows will come running up like, oh my god, can you FaceTime my mom? That's what I get. That's what I get. I'm like, sure, put her on the phone. You know what I mean?
Hey, a little hot cougar now.
Yeah. I, for a minute I feel cool, and then I get fucking shot down. Next thing you know, I'm on the phone with mom. But a couple of the moms looked all right. So.
But how was? I mean, that's got to be a trip though. Your first team wins first season winning the Super Bowl. I mean, like how do you live up to that moving forward? You know what I mean?
And playing with Drew Brees, man.
Yeah, like I imagine your first year in the NFL, no matter what team you're on, is going to be like a very like impressional year.
Absolutely.
You know, winning the Super Bowl, being with one of the top quarterbacks that play the game
Of all time, yeah.
It's got to be a trip.
Bro, it was surreal. You know what I mean? Like being able to and going undrafted. That's the difference about being drafted and going undrafted. You actually get to pick a team if you have, you know, people calling you. You know, I had multiple teams calling me, but it ended up being between Tampa and New Orleans, right? Good thing I picked New Orleans because Tampa was not good that year in 2009. But I was able to pick them, and it was because of the roster they had and the quarterback that they had. My agent was like, bro, they got Drew Brees. You know what I mean? They got Jonathan Vilma, middle linebacker. They just brought in Darren Sharper. And they got pieces, and I think you can get into this linebacker room with Vilma there, and he can help you to kind of, you know, get through, you know, training camp and stuff like that. I had no doubt that I was going to make the team, but man, that motherfucking cut day, boy, that shit was so tough. You know what I mean? Because and the thing is about like back then, they do it a little differently now. Now they do like, I think they do like one major cut at the end. Back then, it's like you can get cut at any time, like in training camp, and they had series of cuts. So the rookies, they put us in like a separate, you know what I'm saying, locker room. They put us in the voodoo locker rooms like an AFL team. But like, you know, at that point, they carrying 90 people on the roster. They can't fit in a regular locker room.
Yeah, right.
Even with the Giants, they had to move new lockers in the middle of the locker room to accommodate all the bodies, right? So we're in this fucking rookie locker room, and we're in there, and when everyone's in there and that door opens, we know who it is. They call him the Grim Reaper. He coming to tell somebody, yo, bring your playbook to coach.
So that's how it works,
Bro.
It's not like you know, Major League. Remember,
Yeah,
they put
yeah.
the red tag in your locker, ain't like that.
Bro, they come and get your ass.
Damn.
And they do it. You don't really know when they're going to do it. They could do before practice. They could do it after practice. So that door opened, and they, you know, get people. And then as time goes on, we just finished the 4th preseason game, and I played like 12 plays the whole preseason. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, like this ain't. Mind you, I got good plays, but like I got 12 plays total on defense. So they you know, this is cut day. Like this is the roster day, and it's 10:30 p.m. And my family's calling me, and it's like, yo, did you make the team? I'm like, I don't know. So I called Vilma. I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do because, like, who do I call? Because nobody called me. He was like, nobody called you? What you mean? I said, bro, I don't know if I make the team. He said, duh, idiot, you made the team. Nobody called you. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a surprise. But then after that, it was me, like, I got to lock in because it was like, I didn't know ball. You know, like, I didn't know, like, the zone concepts and stuff like that. I had to truly learn that. But I was a great athlete. You know, I was a fast, undersized but fast, strong. You know, I was violent. Very similar to you, Frankie. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I may look big to certain people, but y'all know linebackers are fucking huge. You know, I've never been a big guy. So for me, being on that team with those leaders, with Drew Brees, I remember Drew Brees talking to me in camp. He didn't even know my name. He was like, "Hey man, you doing a good job." 62. That's what he said. So that was kind of like reassurance. Like, all right, I'm doing things the right way. You know what I mean? And a couple of older guys said it. And then when the coaches started really kind of getting on me, and like how it is, if the coach is getting on you, they mean they expect things from you. When they ain't saying nothing to you, that's when you need to be worried about it. So the coaches started getting on me, really kind of like saying things to me and it was like, oh, this is high level football stuff that they're communicating with me, which I had no idea what the fuck they was talking about. But like that's when I started understanding, like, man, I think I have a chance here, and that was after I made the team. Like I never was cut in my career, even being an undrafted guy, a guy that was pretty much like a rotative linebacker, special teams guy, like my whole career, but I made myself invaluable to teams because every team needs a guy that comes in and you can play all 4 special teams and be a linebacker on the field on defense. And that goes for safeties, tight ends, running backs. I just had a different mindset when it came to that special team shit. Like, bro, I was like, bro, ain't nobody fucking blocking me today. You know what I mean? Like, I'm running through faces. If I got to do, I'm running past people. If I got to break my face mask, I'm doing that shit today. You know what I mean?
And special teams, that's not. I mean, how does that work? There are people that play just only special teams.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. But it doesn't start that way. Like everybody has positions. Like there's nobody that go into the NFL saying, I want to be the L4 on kickoff. You want to be the third safety. You like, man, look, they got 2 starters and this guy coming in. I want to beat that dude out for at least the third safety spot. Right. That's what you're envisioning in training camp. Then all of a sudden they start doing roster cuts. And you're not really playing safety. They got you at L4 on kickoff. You know what I mean? But it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? I had guys that, throughout the years, and I feel like this is where I became invaluable to teams because I would see a young guy, like let's say a third or fourth safety, right? One guy that the Giants had, his name was Nat Burhey. They called him the Missile. This motherfucker wasn't a big dude, but he would go in there and smack the shit out of you, right? And then Landon Collins got drafted and other guys were playing in front of him. And I'm watching him kind of just walking around the building with like a little sad face. I'm like, bro, what's up? He's like, man, it's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like they ain't got me playing. I said, bro, but you on special teams, bro. Right. I said, look, you got 31 other teams, bro. Like I know you love the Giants, but put some good film out there. Stop walking around like a little fucking pussy because you can play. Yeah. Like you're a good player. If you wasn't playing, I wouldn't even say nothing to you. Right. I said, bro, you can do things on special teams. And if you mad, take that shit out on the other team. Who we playing this weekend? The Eagles? Fuck that motherfucker up this weekend. Right. Show them on film, and then if eventually you can cut ties with the Giants, and they got nothing but positive things to say about you. But the way you going about it, bro, you're not acting like a pro. Yeah. That's when you get to, the level that you got to. When you get to the level I got to, it's not always about talent. It's a lot about timing, and it's about being a fucking pro. You know what I mean? And when those things match up, then you have a nice long career. You become a legend. You become a pioneer, as the things they were saying about you, Frank.
Yeah, no. Like it was like being lucky is like what when opportunity meets preparation.
Yes, sir.
Is when you get lucky. Yeah, no. Those are definitely like. All right, so then, who did you learn from? Who were mentors for you?
Well, I mean, it's so funny because like the guy I learned from the most, it was Drew Brees. Like
makes sense, right?
Like number one, how to be a pro. I watched him do stuff and even talking to him, little conversations I had. Drew Brees never did football at home. He never did it. And I'm sitting there like, man, I got to do at least 30 minutes, at home. But he stayed at the facility till like 7 p.m. When he go home, he trying to be with his wife and his kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, that started putting things in perspective. Like I'm doing a little bit here and there, but you got to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they expect you to do more. They expect you to know what the fuck you need to be doing. But Drew Brees is probably one of the guys that when I say taught me the most, he baptized me. It's like going in there with a guy that you respect and you sparring against him. He's not teaching you stuff, but he's fucking you up. Like, you know what I mean?
In turn, that's teaching you.
That is teaching you. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot from Drew. Jonathan Vilma, he's big bro. He went to the Miami Hurricanes. He was the defensive rookie of the year for the Jets. I think that was like 04, something like that. But when I got there, he was like the big time middle linebacker for us. Super smart dude, you know what I mean? And he like to this day, he like big bro, he's on Fox Sports and stuff like that. But he would literally be like, yo, JC, right there. You know what I mean? Like, cause he knew like it was a learning curve for me. I didn't come in like this most brilliant guy. No, it took me some years to really understand how everything worked. And like I said, it was getting baptized by Drew and kind of getting, brought along up to speed on whatever defense I was. And then when I got to the Giants, I was a full vet. I was able to be the Vilma, be the Drew Brees in the locker room for the Giants. And I think that's one of the reasons why they voted me captain.
Yeah.
Something you talk about a lot, Frankie, is being coachable, right?
Being coachable.
Because not everybody's coachable, you know what I mean? But
honestly, not
a lot of people
many people are coachable. For real. Like the best athletes are coachable.
Yeah.
I'll almost guarantee it.
When you get to that level, though, most guys are coachable. It's just the amount of degree that they are. But, like, I don't think you can get to being a pro unless you're just like this fucking 6'4". So, you know what I mean? Freak-ass athlete running a 4.3. And it's like, I can see how he made it, but he ain't going to be around too long.
But still. I mean, I don't know if you can look that up, Andrew, but the percentage especially of making it to the NFL has got to be like 1%.
Especially
or even the UFC.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But this is the highest level. And now UFC, let's take it back. MMA has been such, more exposed. Like, because I remember, like, I watched UFC in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, Hoist Gracie. Yeah. Chemo and, like, Frank Shamrock and shit like that. Like, Ken Shamrock, before Frank. Yeah. Ken Shamrock.
Keno, right? Carried the cross.
Yeah, the cross on his back and shit. Like, I was a baby fucking watching that shit. And MMA has just grown so much. The Brazilians kind of had their run, and now the fucking them motherfuckers that kind of took over with the shit. So for me, to make it to that level, like, how many people are fighting MMA right now? How many young kids are going from jiu-jitsu or wrestling and they're starting to transition to high school, post-high school to MMA? That number is getting astronomical.
It's getting bigger
now. So to make it to the UFC, you got to be the best of the best of the best.
Right.
You have to be coachable. You have to be durable. You got to be entertaining. Right? You got to be an athlete.
A lot of factors.
You got to be consistent. You got to be disciplined. All of those things, those translate over to any sport if you want to make it to the top level.
But even
any endeavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But even the guys that make it, right? I mean, even the guys that make that thing, the guys that stick around are very few and far between. I mean, the guys that get more than one or two fights in the UFC.
I think like the average career for UFC is like 2 fights.
And
what's the average length for an NFL guy?
They say 3 years.
They say really? That's more than I would have thought.
Yeah, like 2.9, 3 years. But like
you did eight. You had 8 years in, right?
Yeah, I played 8, but I did 9. Like I was on injury reserve for 1 year, but I did 9 years, and I'm blessed, bro. Like going undrafted, like even the guys that I played with for years, they were like, yeah, we didn't think we was gonna make the team, and it wasn't about my play at all. It was more like, bro, you were number 62. You came in and you wasn't practicing because you were hurt. And we were like, how the fuck did they get this undrafted kid? And he ain't even healthy enough to play. You know what I'm saying? So like nobody even thought I can play. And then when training camp rolled around, it was like, oh nah, this motherfucker can play a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a little excited. I saw Giants 2014, right?
2015, my first year with the Giants, yeah.
I was like, oh, he played with Aaron Hernandez, but you just missed him, right?
So you know what's so crazy about that is, right? So it's so crazy how this world, right, how this world works. So my coming out, like before I went on, so 2010, this is after we won a Super Bowl in 2009. Like, when you win a Super Bowl, you're the champ for another. Just like when you win the belt. You're the champ until somebody take that shit from you. Right. Just like the NFL. So we're the champs going into the 2010 season. And we go up to New England and practice against the Patriots. And I'm a second-year guy. I wasn't starting my first year. I got a couple starts at the end of the year, but I wasn't the slated starter. I had to work my ass off in training camp. Again, for me, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So we show up. And we're going against the Patriots, and one of our linebackers are down. So we're going against like Kevin Falk, Lawrence Maroney, some of these really good backs, and I'm fucking locking these dudes up, right? And then we're going against these 2 rookie talented tight ends, Aaron Hernandez and freaking Gronk, right?
Oh,
so they got me covering these motherfuckers consistently, because when you play the position that I played, that weak side linebacker, it's like a nickel position. And I was a guy that in coverage, I'm covering tight ends and running backs. Aaron Hernandez was a fucking problem, bro. He hit me with this route one time. I wish I can get up, but there's not enough space to do it. But just know, like, I'm guarding him one-on-one. We're on a 2-yard line going in. Tom Brady's quarterback. He just gets up and stands still. And I'm looking like, and I look inside, he's over there. Caught a touchdown pass on me. I didn't even move up my stance. He was smooth like that. He would trick you.
And you watch the documentary, the guy barely went to practice. He's just naturally gifted, bro. That guy was just gifted.
The crazy thing is with that, so my best friend name is Andre Dixon. He the one that got me to play football. He ended up playing running back for Connecticut. And I don't know if y'all know, but Hernandez's brother, DJ, was the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So my best friend is married to Davina Hernandez, which is Aaron Hernandez's first cousin.
No way.
Yeah, bro. So when all that shit came out and I called him, he was like, yeah, all that shit's true. I was like, damn.
But like the conspiracy stuff, Drew.
I mean, I don't know about the end stuff, but doing like the other stuff that he was doing involved in, like the family knew about that. I don't think they knew about all of the bodies that motherfucker had, which was fucking wild.
Nuts.
Well, his aunt was in on it. She took it to the fucking grave. She had cancer, remember? She's like, she would not rat on him no matter what.
It's such a sad story. Dude was so talented. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dude was so talented.
I know Gronk wouldn't even talk about it. They asked Gronk about it a couple times. He said, next question, next question.
Yeah.
I mean, they just
it's a sad
people
situation.
Respect it.
Yeah,
people that played with him respect
it. Well, he
has
kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Talk about. I mean, obviously, you talked about it a little bit, but elaborate on Drew Brees. I saw an interview you did where you talked about, learning so much from him. He would stare at you, and you didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You're like, why is he doing that? You know what I mean?
He was such a consummate pro. The first day we had meetings, like the first team meeting. Like before the first team meeting with everybody, we had a whole bunch of rookie, stuff going on, and it was coaches, and it wasn't no players speaking. Like it was only coaches talking. And then the first meeting we had, Sean Payton, talked for like, 10 minutes, introduced the staff, and then he left, and then Drew Brees took over. And I was like, oh. Like I know who Drew Brees is, of course, but I'm like, I didn't know players like run meetings. Yeah. The whole team's in there. But Drew's like kind of establishing like, this is the type of shit we on this year. Yeah. We on this type of stuff. So right away I was like, okay, this is our leader. This is our fucking Achilles. You know what I mean? Like this is our guy. And then after that, bro, just like I said, the consummate pro. A consummate pro, and just him.
That's what you want out of your quarterback, right? I mean, that's why Tom Brady was so great, is everybody admired that guy and respected that guy.
And that's what I be trying to explain to people. It's not always about like the skill level. It's not always about how fast, how strong you are, how good your arm is. It's like, do you got people to buy in? Like when people, that's why Tom Brady's the GOAT. Right. And I think he proved that when he went to Tampa. Yeah, right. Because not only did he do the things that he did in New England, he went to Tampa and people was like, man, I got to step my shit up. We got Tom in the building. Right. And you saw the level increase from the team. Yeah. That was Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Like, I love New Orleans. I'm probably gonna do the New Orleans and Giants game. The Giants go down to New Orleans. I just got texted to do an event. I'll probably go down there for that and do something down there. But like, I don't know if they could ever get back to the promised land. You know what I mean? It's nothing against the team. Is that you really had a special guy at quarterback,
special moment,
and to only make it to one Super Bowl, man. How talented they was, because when we left, they got other guys in there that were really good on defense. And they had good defenses. But I was at the game when they had the missed call, and then it was the other one where it was like two playoff years back to back when the Giants look at me getting confused. The Saints got kind of screwed on like last plays of the game type situations, but it's all about being a little bit lucky. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
People like, I'm not going to wish you luck for your fight. I'm like, bro, a little luck.
Give me a little bit of luck, man.
That's true.
Yeah, man.
So how many teams total you play with?
I play 4 teams.
4 teams.
Yeah.
Like, do coaches and staffs, like, is it totally different from team to team? Or is it somewhat similar?
It's similar, but again, it's totally different, and I'm talking about everything. Like, all right, I'll tell you an example. I got traded from Tampa to New England, right, in the end of October. So y'all know what it's like in New England at the end of October. It's fucking 85 degrees in Florida. Yeah. I don't even own a coat. Yeah. All my winter stuff is here in my mom's house in Somerset. You know what I'm saying? So I go to New England, I got like just a couple long sleeve shirts.
Oh, that shit happens that fast? You literally, when they do a trade,
bro.
It's that quick.
First of all, I didn't even know New England was on the radar.
Go home back
until an hour before I committed. Like, So I'm talking to my agent because I wanted to get traded because I wasn't playing for the sorriest team in the league. That year, Tampa, we were the worst team in the league. We're like 1-7, but I kind of didn't get along with my position because the first time this ever happened when I didn't get along with my position coach, it was something that happened in training camp and they just carried over to the season. And I'm like, man, I'm not playing. And they kind of lied to me about playing last week, and I was hurt, and I came back, and they didn't play me. And then fucking Joe Flacco threw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, and I was like, man, I'm off this fucking sorry-ass team, right? So then I called my agent. I said, bro, I got to get out of here. Like, I can't. The coach don't like me. This is not going good for me. And then literally the trade deadline was at 4. He called me at like 2:30, like, hey, man, the Patriots are interested. And I was like, for real? I was so, like, thrown off because I'm looking at teams that run the defense similar and that want my body type. You know, a smaller, undersized linebacker. New England got big-ass linebackers. They're all 260, 265. And I'm like, bro, I don't know about New England. He said, you fucking idiot. You better take your ass up there. Bill Belichick wants you in the middle of the season. You better take your ass up there. So literally that day, I got on the phone with Bill about 3:45. Mind you, trade deadline's in 15 minutes. And I talked to Bill. Bill was like, yeah. He was like, there's an 8 o'clock flight. You know, I expect you to be at practice tomorrow.
Quick, holy
and I'm like,
shit.
Coach, I got a dog. Like, you know what I mean? I can't bring my dog on the plane like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, and you literally just drop your life and just pick up another life. Like, I went up there with a book bag. Luckily, we had a bye week the next week. So that you actually 2 buys. I had one with Tampa and one with New England.
So you had a chance to buy some shit.
And but the thing is, Bill already knew that.
Yeah.
He was like, don't worry about it. Leave your stuff. Come up with a book bag. He said, leave your stuff. We got a bye week next week after we beat Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos on Sunday. Go home and get your stuff and come back. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. All right, cool. Yeah. And I literally did that. Dropped my shit, went up there. It was 85 degrees when I left. It was 32 degrees when I landed. And snowing, too.
Sounds like you have a similar agent to Frankie. Frankie loves his agent because he can talk to him like that. You're like, yo, motherfucker, make it happen. You know what I mean? And you have that rapport. It makes it a lot easier, I would think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to somebody you don't know that's like all business.
But that's why I hired him from the beginning. You know, I ended up kind of like firing him at the end, you know what I mean, when I was like retired and shit like that. But like the reason why I hired both of my financial advisor and my agent, because I felt like they showed me what they can do before they actually started doing it. You know what I mean? And they both knew like about my mom and how tight I was with my mom. And I get a call from my mom like, I just talked to Blake. I was like, yeah, well, he called you, huh? You know what I mean? Like, he's sneaky motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? But that's the way to do it. You know, like you get my mom involved, and my mom, she gonna be that gauge and tell me. You know, I'm coming to my mom at 38 years old, calling, hey, mom, like, I need, you know what I mean? So I just talked to her before I came in the building. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, bro, like, we only trust certain people. You know what I mean? And my mom is always the number one person on that list.
Frankie says, my mom told me my whole life I'm handsome, so I think I'm fucking handsome. What were you going to say?
No, I'm saying it's good to have someone you trust and that's...
Well, you have that with Ali, bro. You could tell Ali to get fuck off.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be offended.
I'm saying with your mother, when your mother's definitely someone you can lean on. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
She's the one that you can lean on. You know, like when you start questioning relationships in your life. And, you're like, man, call your mom.
You know unconditional love.
Yeah, it's always there, brother. It's always there, man. Shout out to Mom Dukes, man.
Hell yeah. Holding it down. We both saw the same podcast, obviously, but Zeke, your buddy Zeke that you played, that was basketball. When did you know that, Frankie thought he was a multi-level athlete. He tried baseball, he tried it all, found his niche in MMA.
I could have did any sport I wanted
to. But
were
you of that same mindset where you were just trying to find your groove and find out what could make you a living and what you excelled at, and how did you figure out it was football?
So it was so crazy how it happened because, like, when I was young, my dad was a basketball, like, street ball legend type shit in Jersey City. Okay. So like my dad used to play in like these celebrity basketball games with like the 98.7 Kiss FM team.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, back in the day.
Wikipedia says your dad's name is Flash Gordon.
It is.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I thought that was like, I'm like, someone's fucking around here.
Nah, he got a Flash chain on. Like, he been wearing that same goddamn chain since like 1988.
Get out of here. Get out of here. That's fucking amazing.
So he the coolest motherfucker in the city,
That's
bro.
Dude, with a name like Flash Gordon, you gotta be, bro.
So for me, like when I was young, I saw my dad playing and we always watched basketball. He was a big Knicks fan. Like my dad never hated Jordan, but all Knicks fans kind of hated Jordan in the 90s. You know what I mean? So I grew up and I really loved like being competitive. I didn't understand at that point that like how much success I would have playing against project kids. The project kids, they gonna punch you in your face. You know what I'm saying? They gonna clothesline you going up for a layup. But I love that shit because I'm like, I'm gonna catch you back too, motherfucker. And then when I started playing football, I saw the transition starting. Like, bro, you like hitting people. I didn't know what I was doing either. And my best friend, the guy I was talking about, Andre Dixon earlier, that played for Connecticut, he was my best friend, and my mom did not let me play football 6th, 7th, and 8th grade when I actually started having interest. She didn't let me play. And then Dre kind of convinced my mom to let me play, and I played my freshman year in high school. I wasn't even that good. I liked it, and I kind of quit after the season because I didn't really like the coach that I was working with. But then after that, we got a new coach. He changed my position. And then like that first freaking one-on-one drill that we did against my best friend, I hit that motherfucker so hard, bro. I gave him a stinger down his shoulder and shit, and I ain't even feel bad. And I walked away, and everybody was like, "Damn, Jay, bro, like you bringing it like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, like I've been in the weight room, bro, like I've been doing my thing." But like, I didn't really understand, then. But then when I started my first game against South River, that was the first game I ever started against South River, and they had this like young quarterback, and they beat the fuck out of us the year before, and we beat them like 60-0 that game, and I had 3 sacks, and I was like 15 years old playing varsity, you know what I mean? And then after that, I was like, man, maybe this football shit might be better than basketball for me, because sophomore year I was still playing JV basketball.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was East Brunswick?
That was New Brunswick. Yeah, New Brunswick.
Sorry,
Yeah. No, you good. You good. Yeah. You got a little more different color in East Brunswick.
That's funny, man. Did you look that stat up, by the way? What are the odds or the percentage of guys that actually make it to the NFL?
1.8.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
1 point, bro. You're in the 1.8.
Yeah, man.
How about the UFC? Did you look that one up? It's got to be similar. It's got to be similar
It's
odds.
probably similar too. I would think so.
1.8, bro. That's the top
You ever,
fucking 2% of the world.
You ever worried about CTE, that stuff?
I wouldn't say I'm worried about it. I just kind of like embraced it. You know what I mean? Once I saw the concussion movie and I saw like all the shit that that was coming around that time, and they were like 99% of all brains that were tested had it.
Yeah.
So I play linebacker. I know I fucking got that shit.
But my thing is, that's what I'm saying. So I've seen that same study. It's at 99%. They took football players, not even professional footballers, if you played football in your life at one time. So there's the kids that probably stunk at football, and they had it. I'm like, dude, do 100 people, random people.
Yeah.
I want to see what's the percentage of CTE? 'Cause I bet you it's high too.
It probably is high.
You know what I mean?
You're probably right about that. Yeah.
Well,
I bet Roger got CTE. You know what I'm saying?
You done been in some bar fights though, Raj.
With the older guys, it's got to be a higher percentage because I mean the equipment is it's so much better than it used to be, right?
Yeah.
The padding.
Well, the rules a little bit like when you were playing early, bro. That was dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous
It's
now.
still
Don't get me
dangerous,
wrong.
yeah.
2009, it probably was still a little more sketch, right? Did you see a big change in the helmet design and stuff?
Oh, and it wasn't really the helmet design. It was more the rules. The rules. Like I watched the guy Deshaun Golson. He was a safety for San Francisco 49ers, and I got him. We was down in Tampa together, and I watched him take $500,000 from him. You know what I mean? And it wasn't really like crazy hits, but it was the hits that was legal the year before. And he didn't make the adjustment.
Oh,
and
you're saying in fines?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fines.
Oh, wow.
Because when you get suspended, you lose that game check. He was getting a lot of money, so he lost like $400,000. The fine before he got fined like $100,000.
That's crazy to like you're changing the rules on me. Like, come on, I play a certain way. You're gonna change the rules. That's
it should be a little bit of grace that's involved in that little period. But, it was an adjustment to make, and nowadays, I heard Tom Brady said, he thinks that, it's kind of hurting the quarterback play a little bit because, the back in the day, the quarterbacks, they would have to protect the receivers down the field. Now they just kind of throwing the ball up because there's nothing that can happen to the receiver. You know what I mean? But I'm just going to what Tom Brady said. He said it kind of takes away from the quarterback a little bit. And some of these guys, don't have the anticipation and they don't have the thought process to protect their guys because at the end of the day, those passes that back in the day would get you hit, you will still get hit. They're just not going to hit you in your head. Right. Now they're going to hit you in other places that can still give you injuries. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to hit you up top because they're going to get fined and they're going to get ejected.
Those injuries keep. I mean, I don't know. It's bad to say. Like a head injury probably come back pretty quick, especially back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But a knee injury, you ain't coming back quick.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, we all are familiar with the Eric Garland story. Obviously, the Rutgers player. That's he's paraplegic, quadriplegic.
Yeah.
Now, quadriplegic.
Yeah. That's my guy
too.
too.
Para, quadra.
Quad.
I think he's quadra.
Yeah. He's neck down.
Yeah.
Neck down.
He's
great guy.
Great guy.
Awesome.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Bro.
LeGrand. Eric LeGrand.
Sorry.
Yeah,
What did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know. We don't have to repeat it.
LeGrand. I got a lot of things wrong tonight. East Brunswick.
Yeah.
Butchered your last name. But anyway, great dude. We all knew who I was talking about. Absolute legend and so super positive. So there's so much stuff.
It's just crazy how positive he is,
Yeah.
You got to be that way though. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't not.
It's hard to say what you're going to be till it happens to you. You know what I mean? It's hard to say.
I just don't think like with how the world is right now, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, kind of being social media wise and shit like that. Like there's a lot of negativity in the world right now, you know what I mean? And if you pay attention too much to that shit, you can start believing it.
Oh, 100%.
You got to have that belief in yourself, bro. You know, you got to find the positivity away from all the extra bullshit.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And there's no better case than fucking Eric LeGrand, bro.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Agreed.
right.
Yeah.
You want to look at someone positive. That's a good perspective on life, especially after all that, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's got his own whiskey and stuff.
He does.
Yeah, bro.
I,
Crazy.
I just saw that. Yeah, he's doing big things, man. Did you look that up, Andrew?
He got
What
a
about
Cane Corso.
UFC.
LeGrand does?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
1 in 400.
Oh, one. So what's the
What the?
what's the percentage breakdown
Is
on
that
that?
0.25?
Yeah.
0.25?
That's- so even
Yeah.
less. So even less.
Yeah, but that's because like anybody could say. Like I think just
Well, UFC. A lot of people could say I
Well, yeah.
fight MMA.
Yeah.
because you
How
could get
many
you could get
total
a
fighters are in the UFC? You know that
Now
total
it's
number?
A bunch, man. Now it's like almost
400, 500.
Well, plus the girls.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
girls
almost.
too, yeah.
700
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, the
guy
girls been
fought. This
taking
guy
over.
fought 16, 17 years in the UFC. 16.
There's 650 fighters under
650.
contract.
650. Holy
Fought
shit.
that long, though, bro? You fought 16 years
16
in the
years.
UFC?
Well, in the UFC,
shit.
it was in 15.
He's still pretty
15,
sharp for
yeah.
getting hit that much in the fucking head.
Yeah.
And most of his fights were wars too, bro. It wasn't like
for
first
sure.
round
Them
enders.
Great
you know?
Maynard fucking fights. Good lord.
But I would say, speaking of CTE, man, I would definitely say there are some UFC fighters who, I mean, arguably you could throw BJ Penn in there, but I guess the best example may be Nam Pham. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That interview he did from like
Yeah.
8-9 years ago to now.
Oh, bro, crazy.
Guy can barely speak now. It's crazy.
yeah, I didn't
Spencer
see that.
Fisher too. He's
Spencer
pretty
Fisher.
bad.
Yep.
But
yep.
I mean, I think from what they said about the CTE stuff, like literally, like you just get your head beat in, just like
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I go against old linemen that is twice my size every
Yeah,
play.
right.
For my leverage, I have to use my helmet a little bit, at least a little bit. You know, I mean, not crazy, but I do. Those little things, them shits add up, bro.
add up.
You know what I'm saying? So if they saying,
But they're saying you don't even have to hit your head. You get hit in the body, it rattles your
yeah,
head.
exactly. You can hit the ground hard and
Yeah.
not even feel it, and it rattles your brain, your brain against your skull. So, I mean, it's a scary thing. I try not to think about it, to be honest,
Yeah.
bro, because I feel like if I do, like, kind of sit down and think about it, like, I might get depressed. bro.
Yeah.
You,
You know what I mean?
you do anything to combat that? Any of that stuff?
I don't know what to do. I mean, they haven't really said anything, about it.
Cold plunge? Oh,
Creatine.
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 Really?
Creatine is one of the most studied supplements in the world, and they found out that it's actually it's all good for your muscles, like we always knew.
Yeah.
They say it's probably better for your brain than it is your muscles, for cognitive too. If you get a bad night's, and they're saying like 10 grams, 20 grams, especially if you get a bad night's sleep or you're traveling,
Really?
20 grams of creatine. That'll help
Is that a new study? I never heard
Yeah.
that. Is it?
Yeah.
I'm
What
gonna look that
about
up.
saunas, cold
Sauna,
plunges? Yeah.
sauna definitely.
Sauna's
Sauna
better,
helps
yeah.
with dementia, stuff like that. I don't know if
Yeah.
it helps with CTE, but I mean, if it helps with that stuff,
Well, you think about it, you're talking about the head rattling around. You see a lot of these like flash knockouts in the UFC where guys just get clipped and are out, but they fall and they fucking
And they
head
hit their head again.
The
Not-
head
Not in
fucking
UFC,
bounces.
more like fights in the street. You see that.
Well,
that's,
too.
that's
too.
a scary.
Well, you see
shit.
it in the UFC too, but it's a padded thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, in the
at least you
streets.
fall-
But people
yeah.
die in the streets when you
Bro,
smack
I
their head
seen
that
I
hard.
seen the power slap.
Yeah, those
Dude,
guys.
dude got smacked and literally went boom, fell right on the thing.
On the table, right?
Right,
Yeah, I saw that one
yeah,
too. That was
yeah,
crazy.
damn.
Yeah, that's why I see on some real shit. Like, we all tough motherfuckers in here, bro. That's why, like, for me, like, I'm not trying to fight nobody in the street, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to fight nobody. And not just for me. Like, I ain't trying to kill nobody.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the
worth
day,
it.
it's like even me, like, if I get clipped the wrong way, boom, and I hit my head, like,
Yeah.
I'm Brian, my daughter ain't got no father no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it used to be, back when I was scrapping, it was like, who's the biggest fucking alpha in the building? And you fucking square up with another guy. You're all doing it for the same reason. The girls, everybody's trying to be
Yeah.
fucking big dog. Oop, shit, what do I do? I don't give a fuck about that anymore, bro.
Yeah,
I
bro.
really don't. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like, what is that going to get me? Fucking locked up, a lawsuit,
Yeah.
maybe beat up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I could care less about that shit. I'm not.
and they shooting people now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if somebody got in my face and fucking, I'd defend myself, but
Right.
I ain't looking for that shit anymore. It's
Hell
totally
no.
different now, you know?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, you see, I mean, dudes getting clipped and boom. Yeah,
I don't go out that much. I don't know if you go out that much anymore.
really.
You definitely don't go out that much. But back in the day when I was doing the Seaside thing, back in, 2008, 9, 10, there was fights everywhere. I feel like I haven't seen a fight. I haven't seen a
stabbing
fight.
motherfuckers.
Yeah. People put
The kid that got shot in Long Branch not too long ago.
Yes.
I was on the beach that day in
Were
Long
you?
Branch.
And they just solved that. Like literally, like
Really?
That was gang though, right?
I think
Was that
so.
gang
yeah.
stuff?
That kid was like a YouTube star.
You know what's so crazy too? Because I was with my peoples, right? And it's so crazy. So you know what the YNs are, right? The young niggas, the YN. So we leaving, right when the sun's kind of setting a little bit. The sun set real late in Jersey, about 8:30, something like that. So the sun's about to set, and we're leaving. And I'm like, they go to YNs right there. They all coming in. And then the next day, I see the kid got killed. I'm like, damn, Long Branch, damn.
Oh, that happened after you left?
Bro,
Oh,
yes,
it
bro.
happened
Like
after you left.
right there in the same, literally the same part of the beach I was at.
Yeah,
Jersey Shore is long.
Yeah.
Long Branch is just a part of the whole freaking shore. And I was right there. And I'm like, man, this is how crazy the world is, bro. Like I was right there with my people, man. We had kids and everything.
But
man.
he was targeted. That wasn't like was he targeted? Or
I think it was something
was that
like
a beef that just broke out randomly?
No, I think he was targeted. I
Targeted,
think
right?
so.
Was he targeted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
But
man. That's
even
why I
like
don't
even
fuck with nobody,
even
bro.
the stabbings in Seaside, like they were like gang guys.
But don't you feel like when
But God
we were
forbid
younger-
a stray or something. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what you
bro.
worry about.
I feel like when we were younger, I'm older than you both, but like back in the day, it was like, how tough are you? Now it's like I'll fucking stab you or I'll.
No, back in the day, you were getting jumped too, though. Man, motherfuckers would
Yeah.
jump you. They
Yeah,
went.
but
They
nobody-
went.
I don't
they
remember
went-
anybody stabbing anybody,
No,
shooting
no.
anybody.
I mean, no.
You do?
Yeah, no.
I don't.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
my wife had a party at her house.
Oh yeah, I
and
know this
Some
story.
dude got sliced right in the face with like a glass bottle.
Oh, that's
sliced
not
him
the-
call
right
that
in the face.
call that a $150.
Yeah,
yeah.
sliced him in the face.
Nah, for me, it I just don't think it was it was as frequent as it is now. You know what I mean? Like you would get into a scuffle. You know what I mean? And you'll see it. But like I've been around, bro. Like my high school, I was a junior in high school. We was at a hotel party. I don't know how y'all did it back in high school. We always had like little hotel parties. So we was at the hotel party, and it was a whole bunch of people, and motherfuckers start fighting and shit. All you hear is pop, 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 pop. And I'm fucking 17 years old, and I'm like trying to go to college. So I'm like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? So I saw 2 people on the ground, and I'm like, shit, bro. Next day, I kind of find out one of the guys that we all knew was dead. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking he got shot. He got stabbed. The gunshots happened after the stabbing because the guy that saw him, I guess, was his people's, and he just shot in the air. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had blood on me and shit because one of the guys that was getting jumped and fighting, he was a guy that was one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's been around. One of my good friends, I got tatted on my arm. He got shot. You know what I mean? Like,
I got shot
I'm
at.
from the hood, dog. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been around, but I feel like now it's moving out of the hood.
Yeah,
It's
right.
going to like more like the gentrified.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah.
gentrified areas now, and it's some of these kids, man. They don't got real beef. They just want clout, which
Right,
is
yeah.
now that's the
Internet
scariest
clout.
part.
Yeah.
Because now it's like anybody can get it if a guy just want clout. You ain't got to disrespect nobody.
Right.
A kid just want to go ahead and make a name for
Make a
himself.
name,
You see these guys flashing their guns on fucking Instagram and shit.
Stupid.
It's exactly what you said. It's clout. But I did get shot at one. Well, I thought I got shot at. I think he shot in the air. But when I was growing up, I grew up in a little podunk country bumpkin town in Maine, right? Great town. Love where I grew up or whatever. But on Halloween, we'd go steal pumpkins off people's porches. I mean, every fucking kid did that in country bumpkinville, Well, there was this one old dude that didn't fuck around. And we all knew he was
What'd you do to his pumpkin, though, Raj?
But I returned it after that. No. But so we were in the back of a pickup truck, and we did this to a couple houses. We were just literally grabbing pumpkins. I mean, fuck, the next day you throw them away anyway after Halloween, right? Grabbing them off
You're
porches.
doing them a favor at this point.
This motherfucker this guy must have known. He had to have a gun already. He had to be like waiting for it to happen. Because as soon as we grabbed these pumpkins and started running back to the truck, you just hear you hear the door come flying open and just bang, bang, he hit a shotgun.
Jeez.
He was shooting in the air. He wasn't shooting at us. But at the time, I thought this fucker was shooting at us, bro. So we the truck takes off, we're running to get in the truck. We
Heart
dive in the
beating
back.
out your chest.
He jumps in his truck, bro, and he is right on our ass. So there's 5 of us in the back of this little Toyota pickup. My buddy Alex is driving, just going through the fucking gears, and this guy is right on our ass. He drove right to a state trooper's house that we knew and pulled right in the fucking driveway. This guy pulled right in too, and yeah, the cop came out and basically it was small town, fucking handshake deal, let the guy go, but. Yeah, basically told us to stop stealing pumpkins and told that guy to stop fucking, reckless driving.
Shooting
and
that motherfucking kids.
Chasing high school kids, you know what I mean? But nothing happened, but I was convinced, bro, I was going to die that day, for sure. That's the difference between you guys and what happens in small towns.
The mayor. You had the mayor.
We didn't have a mayor, bro. We didn't have traffic lights. We had fucking cows and sheep and.
How'd you get to Jersey?
I mean, I'll try to give you the short version. My mom is originally from Jersey, Glen Rock.
Okay.
So by Lake Wayne.
Yeah.
She met my dad in Connecticut. He was an engineer. He worked for Pratt & Whitney making airplane motors. They dated for about a year. He said, fuck this, and he went back to Maine where he grew up to take over the family business, oil business. And my mom went with him, and they were married for 27 years. So when they got divorced, she came back to Jersey. That's how I ended up here. So,
I got you.
Yep.
I got you.
Yeah, so that's the short version.
So we adopted you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Jersey, not a native son, but I'm an adopted
It's all good. We accept you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
You make us look good, bro.
Thank you. Listen, I worked hard to look like that Guido.
Yeah, I saw that
guy
picture.
from Maine, yeah.
How much you was right there?
Probably 255. Probably, yeah. I was pretty loaded up on
Traps
some shit
and shoulders right there, bro.
So you still stay after it though? You still get after it?
Bro, listen, I'm so fucked up, bro, right now, man. I get like almost a little depressed because it's a fine line. Like I have to train, but I can't train too hard. I feel like I go too hard, something happens. You know, like right now, I was sparring my brother on Saturday. We got a headgear and gloves. My brother's, a golden gloves back in the day. You know, ex-convict. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this big bro, we 2 years older. Like that motherfucker beat my ass all my life. So now we get to spar, and we all have this agreement like if I catch you, I catch you. You catch me, but we ain't finishing each other off.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's bro, mommy here, bro, ain't grandma here. We ain't gonna do that in front of grandma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we sparring and shit, and I clipped him on his shoulder, but I'm strong, so I dropped him in front of the whole family, right? So he gets up, and I help him up. I pull him. I'll show you the video too. I pull him up. I help him up. Gave him a hug, and then he talking shit, so we laughing and shit like that. And then at the end of the next round, I believe we're kind of exchanging blows here and there, and then we grab each other, and then he went like this, and my rib cracked. And it was an old injury that I had going against the Jets in preseason, where my ligament tore off my bone. And I definitely did that on Saturday. Yeah, bro.
Fuck.
And I tapped out. So it's like I dropped him once. He made me tap
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I guess it's a draw. I guess it's a draw.
Rubber match. You gotta have the rubber match.
So I do train, but like I said, man, I get fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm so like beat up. You know, like I people are like, oh, you look so young. You should go out there and play. Fuck no, bro. My body is fucked, bro. Like, my shoulders, my knees, my back, my ribs, like my whole spine. From the top one all the way to the bottom. I done got epidurals throughout my career, from the neck. Had neck problems this year, low back problems this year. I got thoracic problems now. Like the ribs fucked up right now. The knee can hurt at any time. The foot make me limp in the morning. You know what I mean? But that's you sign up for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm not complaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like, I'm trying to go out there, and for me, I'm in my when I'm training. And I'm feeling good. That's when I'm feeling my best. Not just physically, but mentally as well. So I gotta stay after it, bro. I have to, bro.
No, I definitely training's probably better for your mental health than it is your physical health.
Nah, for real. Because it be fucking me up physically sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes the mind is convinced, especially as you get older, right? I think this holds true for you a little bit. Is the mind says, fuck, I can do this. But the body's like, Jesus Christ, man, I've fucking been doing this for 16 fucking years, bro. Like, give me a break. And
your body is, well, and it depends how you look at it, but your body's definitely stronger than your mind.
You think so? You don't think your strongest?
I mean, let's say
you
look,
don't think your strongest asset for your whole career was your mindset.
Yes, it is. But what I'm trying to let me explain it.
Okay.
Like David Goggins, David Goggins.
Yeah.
Like people will break down before they do what that motherfucker does.
Yeah.
He'll let his feet bleed. He's bone on bone. He don't give a fuck. He knows his body. I mean, it's really his mind's not breaking. Really, what it comes down to. But I'm saying his mind is able to stay tough because his body can handle it. Obviously.
But before he got to that point, his mind wasn't as strong as his body. I agree with you. But I don't think me and you are weak-minded individuals. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And our body, I don't know about yours. I don't know, like what I had. My body broke down before I was sharp as fuck when I retired. Yeah. But I couldn't do it anymore. Right. You know what I mean? I would love to share this story with y'all, and I want to hear what you got to say too about when you made your mind up. Like, I can't do this no more. So this is how my shit happened, right?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
So I'm in my last year. I mean, I didn't know it was my last year. It was my 9th year. And when you do 9 years, you're when you get to about 5 or 6, And you can ask any NFL player if they're in 5 or 6 years, how many years you want to play? Well, I know I can get to 10. Everybody wants to hit 10. I don't know why, but that's the number to get. So I'm at 9, and I went into the season kind of with some stuff going on, and then it was against the Chargers. I'm tackling, God damn it, what's his name? It'll come back to me. So I'm tackling him, a routine tackle, right? Boom, my neck go back, and I just feel it shoot down my arm. I lose strength in my arm. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm tapping my helmet. Everybody thought I got a concussion. I said, no, bro, my neck is fucked, and my arm is fucked up. So I go to the chiropractor on the side, and he working with me and shit. And in my head, I'm thinking like, man, this is some bullshit, because it's not the first time I hurt my neck, you know? So then Ronnie Barnes, who's the head trainer of the Giants, he's in the Ring of Honor. He's like one of the greatest trainers in the world, right? So he goes and he said, JC, you know I'm going to take care of you. He was like, JC, you know I got you. I'm going to sit you down for a month. We're going to come back. You're not going to do anything. We're going to keep you moving around and stuff, but we ain't going to do no hitting and nothing like that. So when I came back, it was like a month later. My neck felt pretty good. I go play, I think, 2 games. We play against the 49ers, and then we play against like the Chiefs, and then we play against the Commanders, right? So that's when they had Trent Williams. Y'all know Trent Williams, the left tackle, fucking beast, right? So all week long, I know I'm going against Trent. Most tackles I can beat because I'm faster, you know, and slicker than them. I can't beat Trent. He's too quick and he's dirty. So he gonna grab me or push me. And I'm screwed because I'm not that big. You know what I mean? He got me by 100 pounds. Trent like 330. My heaviest, I was 225, 228. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck. So that week, I know I got to go at him. I got to go into him, like, boom, and then go. So all like during the game, I'm getting him. You know, we're going at it. I'm banging with him, boom, boom, boom. And then after the game, bro, I'm on a flight, bro. I can't even turn my neck. I'm like this. This is the first time my brain ever said, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
There's the first, I never had that thought. Mind you, I done got surgery on my fingers, wrist, knee, elbow, like all kind of shit. My brain never thought that. My brain would always be like, oh, they said 6 months? Oh, we'll be back in 5. That's how my brain worked. At this point, my brain's like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, you trying to not walk? And then that night, that was when the Steelers played the Bengals. Ryan Shazier tackled a dude with his head down and paralyzed himself on national television. And I trained with this kid for 3 years. Young kid. He was like his 3rd or 4th year in the league.
Yeah.
I watched him. He's a fucking stud. Fucking kid can play. Stud. They compared him to me coming out of college. And then I watched him paralyze himself. I went into Ronnie Barnes' office the next day. I said, bro, I don't want to play football no more, bro. I said, I'm done with this shit, bro.
What's Dana always say? If you're even thinking about retirement,
You should.
You should.
That's it. Especially in what y'all do, man. Like,
you gotta.
it's
you don't wanna be in
like
there.
the boxing, the UFC stuff. Like, I feel like I seen a lot of guys that, you know, get clipped and they kind of stay around too long. What's the guy's name? Kukua, what's his name?
Tony Ferguson.
Man.
El
Like,
Kukui.
El Kukui, yeah. A great fighter, but like, you know, I don't want to see him fight no more, bro.
Bro, the best. I think he had a 12, 15 fight win streak, and I think he's on like
monster.
a 8 fight loss.
Like, you got,
And it's hard to watch that because he was such a legend.
Such a legend.
I mean, he was the guy that was supposed to beat Khabib, but they never got to fight. But he
Wow.
was the guy that everybody said, this is going to be the guy. Obviously, I don't think he would have, but he may have. You know what I mean? He was that good back then.
He was.
What is he on, an 8 fight win?
Yeah.
And he still won't
Yeah.
retire, right?
Well, no, the UFC's let him go.
Okay.
But I just seen he's fighting a bare knuckle fight
Yes, that's right.
against
Yes.
like a influencer though.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
But, I mean, listen, I don't sleep on nobody because you know it only take one fucking punch, right?
yeah.
And then you got your hands down a little
Especially
too low.
bare knuckle.
Yeah, man.
Bare knuckles,
But-
brutal, bro.
I want to know what happened to you.
Yeah, I
like
wanna hear
when
it. I
did
wanna
you
hear it,
say
too.
I'm good? Because you went into your last fight like that. You knew that was your last fight.
Yeah,
right?
I knew it was. I knew I had to say it was. You know. Honestly,
for yourself.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
myself. You know. I would love to still be fighting it. If I was successful, I would probably still fight. Like I knew I wanted to make it to 40. You know, I wanted to make it to 40, and then I was always like pretty much my whole career I was in the top 5. Probably the last 2 fights I dropped out of the top 5. And I know once I wanted to. Some people fight. They want to fight just to get fights. I wanted the fight to be the best.
Yeah.
It's like when I got my title, I lost my title. Like I was always trying to get back to it, and I was close. And I fought for the featherweight title a couple times. Then I went down to 35, and I beat the number 5 guy in the world. So I'm like, shit, I'm fucking close to another title shot. And then I went and lost to those 3 at the end. And once I lost, I mean, I always knew if I couldn't be the fight for the title or be in that picture, then it's time to go. So, But again, like I think I had to lose that way. Because if I lost like super close fights,
You still be.
I'd
Fighting.
be like, "Fuck, I can do this." Right? But so if I think God kind of made it happen that way, and I almost think even now, like God's, like I can't, like I train a lot. I train all the time. You know, I own a jiu-jitsu school, so I'm on the mat all the time. But it's tough for me to get like a solid 2 weeks of real like good training in, and I think God's doing that, so I don't say, "Man, I feel good. I might be able to get back in there." You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, you can't lift your arm up, bro. I think you're good.
But I heard the show y'all did right after you had your last loss, and I was hearing you talk about how you felt that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like God gave you like that was it. He was like, bro, like this is it for you.
Yeah.
He was like, cause like you said, I heard you saying, you was like, I would have enjoyed it like more if I'd have went out and been competitive and maybe lost a decision like that. But that probably would have kept your ass in it.
Yeah, no,
and
for
you might
sure.
not be able to talk right now, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're slowing down. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age, you've been doing it for fucking, how long you been doing it for? Fucking 16, 17 years.
Especially the lighter weight guys. You know what I mean?
Y'all take so much damage. Y'all fucking throw so many fucking punches. I think, the God, universe, whatever you want to say, he protected you from your own self.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think he did the same thing to me too. He made me see Shazier get paralyzed.
Yeah, right.
Because, bro, I can walk. Bro, listen, let me tell you something too. This fucked me up. I had my camp the other day, June 7th and 8th. My 10th camp for my back in New Brunswick High School. And I reached out to a guy from Jersey. His name is Issa Abdul Kudus. Little dude, probably 185, bro. Fucking walk pigeon-toed and shit. That motherfucker come and light your ass up, right? So I seen him. I invited him to the camp. I ain't talked to him in like 5 or 6 years. I ain't seen him in like 10. So I see him. I'm like, bro, what's up, bro? He can't even lift his arm up. And I'm like, bro, what happened? It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Nerve
I'm
damage?
like, fuck, yeah, he got nerve damage. He was like, yeah, man.
Bass Rutten has that, right?
I had to shut it down. And I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck. I felt terrible because I didn't know. And then when we was in New Orleans Saints together, when he came on the team, you know how it is with Jersey guys. They was like, oh, you from Jersey? I said, you from Jersey?
Yeah.
So we was cool as hell. But then as your career goes, you move around and you make other friends. And, it's the brief little DMs here and there like that. But I had no idea he was fucked up. You know what I mean? And now I felt bad because I'm like, bro, like I remember taking you under my wing as like my little bro. And I ain't even know what was happening. I said, I feel like a terrible friend. You know what I mean? Because I could have been there for you, bro. Like, nobody really knows. You know how it is. Nobody really knows that fucking struggle, bro. Nobody knows what it feels like when you ain't doing what you used to do for fucking. I played football 17 years total. You know what I mean? Which was, some guys play for 20. You know what I'm saying? Some guys played in the league for fucking 20 years. And after it, whether it's through injury, whether it's like, I can't do this no more, you can't compete.
It's a piece of your life missing, right?
It is.
Yeah. Right.
Like my friend asked me the other day, she was like, do you feel like a piece of you is gone? And I'm like, I don't feel like that. That's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It is. But I did it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day, even when it wasn't playing, I'm thinking ball. I'm training ball.
life.
I'm doing my body. I'm doing my acupuncture. Everything was for ball. So now that it shifts, yes. And I have to make a transition. If not, I'm going to be a fucking nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you see that happen. You see a lot of
Yeah,
guys
you do.
falling off. You know
You
what I
do
mean?
see it.
Going to drugs, whatever, losing everything they ever had.
And I'm not even going to say that's easy. It's just so, you're in a weird place.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Once you shut everything down, it's like you used to being on a schedule, used to having something at the end of the fucking tunnel where you're just working your fucking dick off to. And win, lose, or draw, you come out having surgery, you come out fucked up, you still feel good because there's another fucking tunnel coming up next. But there's no tunnels no more. So for me, it's like I got to create my own tunnels. And it don't involve being violent, which sucks.
Yeah. I mean, even dudes that are in prison and spend a significant amount of time in prison, they
Nah,
get
for
out,
real.
they're lost.
Yeah.
They don't know what
They
to
don't
fucking
even
do.
know how to feed themselves.
Because they had this regiment that they lived for so long.
Purpose. You need purpose, right? You know. I mean, I always said that believe it or not, the easiest part of my life was fight camp.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to worry about
You ain't
nothing.
think. You ain't
That's
have
I had
to
to
think.
worry about
crazy to hear
nothing.
that, though.
I had to worry about nothing but one motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's it. Every day I thought about that guy every day, all day.
Yeah.
But that's all I thought about.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the great thing. When you make it to the elite level, right? Hard work is easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
That's what we're good at. That's why
yeah.
we got where we got.
Like, I don't have no problem waking up. I used to go to Arizona to train. and they're like, oh, today we got this, this, and this, and this, 110 degrees. That's nothing, bro. I'm going to die a little bit. But we used to that. You know what I'm saying? You tell me I got a fucking conference call later, I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, shit. Pressure. I'm beating my heart, beating hard.
Again, that's why you guys are the top 1%, because most minds don't work that way. Most
for sure.
minds, you know what I mean? So, yeah. But, you talked about something earlier, scrapping with your brother and shit. Yeah. I remember seeing an interview with Rampage Jackson, and he said, I love Rampage. He's a bad motherfucker, bro. I love watching him on the Jackson podcast. The shit he says, it's just naturally hilarious. You know what I mean? But on the Howard Stern show, this was years ago. He's like, bro, I'll fucking fight anybody. But he goes, dude, when we have like family reunions and stuff, I got to fight my brother. And he goes, to this day, he's the only guy I like dread fighting is my own fucking brother because, this is your brother. You know what I mean? They fucking go, and he's like, we go hard. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's
we
funny
fought,
you talk about that.
But that's the thing about my brother. Like I know he would do anything for me. Yeah, but like back in the day, let's call it 30 years ago, he used to whoop my fucking ass. I hated him a little bit. You know what I mean? But then afterwards, I look back at it, and even like when I got to the league, right? He was in prison. He came out. I brought him to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And people on his block, on his tier or his D block or whatever fucking block he was on, they were like, "Yo, your brother playing in the Super Bowl?" He's like, "You going?" He was like, "Yo, shh, don't tell nobody." You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it is in prison. You let everybody know you getting out. They fucking do something to keep your ass in there. But like, we would go out, like, especially like in Tampa. In New Orleans, it was a little different because they loved everyone that played for the Saints. So we was kind of like protected a little bit. In Tampa though, I like going out in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So we got out to these little raggedy ass strip clubs in the hood. We get there, we probably 4-5 deep. I'm with like, some big time players, on the team or whatever. We get in the spot. My brother with me, and I'm like, what the fuck my brother at, bro? I'm looking around. He showed up 5 minutes later. He said, yo, y'all know them niggas over there in the corner? And I'm like, nah. And I look back to see he gone. I'm like, bro, what the hell going on? And I look back, he's standing right behind them motherfuckers. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And he come back over, he was like, don't worry, I don't think they about nothing. He's my guardian angel. You know what I'm saying? He was looking out for all of us, not just me. He looking like, bro, y'all know them cat. He did that shit every time. Now, what'd he do? He run his own security company.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he put it to work, but like, ain't nothing like that older brother love, that tough love. Sure. Like I know for sure my ass whoopings from my brother helped me be the person I am.
For sure, hell yeah.
I don't have a brother. I have a sister, but she's older and she used to kick my ass when I was young. She's my best friend now, dude. She'll call me up and be like, "Oh, what girl do I?" Today I was talking to her. She's like, "Yo, who do I got to call? What do I got to straighten out for you?" She's just awesome. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, nothing like sibling love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of all the places you played, obviously, you got 2 Super Bowl rings, so those got to be special to you. But what was your favorite team to play on? Probably not the Buccaneers, but
yeah, that was a rough year and a half for me down there. But man, New Orleans was special.
Yeah,
I feel like I won my ring with the Patriots too, but that's one of 6. When people say you won with the Patriots, they say, which one, right? Yeah. When they say you won in New Orleans, there's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one. So it's small. It's like a fraction of the size too. The other one's like fucking 3 times the size of it.
Oh, I thought they were all universal. They're not.
Oh no. The fucking Saints one is like a high
because
school
it's got
ring.
all the
it ain't big at all. But it means so much more than any of the Patriots rings. The Patriots ring, they're split. It's like, oh, which one? And they all look incredible.
Right.
But the Saints ring is small, but it means so much more, I think, to the region.
Sure.
Because it's right after Katrina.
I was just going to ask, when was Katrina? What year?
Katrina was 05.
Yeah,
and you were 09.
Super Bowl was
Yep.
09.
Wow.
Because
that stadium was.
They put everybody
close
in that
for- wasn't
stadium.
it?
A lot of bodies. Was
No,
in that
they put
stadium,
everybody
dog.
in that stadium.
No, they didn't.
I thought they did. The
they-
bathrooms didn't work.
No, they put him in Houston. They put him in Houston.
Pretty sure.
Well, I mean, between anywhere they can get them to, Katrina.
I thought that stadium was like a mess. It wasn't a mess.
It was, but
The
they still had
toilets
people in
were
that
all-
bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
the toilets didn't work.
Bro,
it was a fucking mess. Yeah.
Katrina put things in perspective for me. And mind you, I wasn't down there in 05.
Yeah.
The crazy thing was I was down in 05 on a college tour, and we left like a couple weeks before Katrina happened. That's crazy. So then I get down there, and I do a lot of community work. So when I was down in New Orleans, I always was like, yo, I want to do some stuff with, with kids and stuff like that. And they took me like to Algiers. Like it's like by the 7th Ward. Sorry, New Orleans people, if I just fucked that up. My bad. But
okay. I butchered everything.
It was in the hood. You know what I mean? And I'm from the hood. I'm from Jersey City. You know what I mean? And in the hood, you go like this, right? You go house, abandoned building, house, abandoned building, maybe 2 abandoned buildings in a row, house. In New Orleans, this was in that area, and this was so fucking sad, dude. We're driving around, and I don't see shit. there's houses that used to be there. They're all boarded up with those fucking signs, the fucking X's and O's and the numbers on that shit. And then it'd be like abandoned house, abandoned house, abandoned house. Somebody's living in this house. Abandoned house, somebody's living in this house. And I'm walking around, and this isn't 09. This is 4 or 5 years after Katrina. Bro, like, I almost start crying, bro. Like, I was like, I didn't know it was still fucked up like this, bro. That's why that shit meant so fucking much, bro.
Well, what is it, like 3 feet below sea level or something, right?
Yeah,
It's
the whole city.
The whole city's below sea level, so of course it's gonna. I mean, it's all pumps that keeps it dry, you know.
Yeah, the pumps and then the fucking levees broke and
the
shit. Like,
levees
I don't know
broke,
exactly what happened and shit like that. I don't want fucking people call me, that fucking shit ain't happening. You know what I mean? But I know it was.
We get it wrong all the time. Don't worry.
Right. It was such a fucking traumatic. Experience for the region.
Horrible.
A lot of people lost a lot of friends and families. A lot of course, belongings and freaking animals and shit like that. So, like, I felt the love when I got to New Orleans, man. Like, people were crying, bro. You know what I'm saying? When we won a Super Bowl, and like, you know, like, I go there now to this day. They'd be like, "Oh, you played? What year did you play for?" I played on 19. You played on that Super Bowl team? You know what I'm saying? They get so gassed, man. Thank you, bro. Like, I had the Uber driver because I went to Super Bowl in New Orleans this past year. I was down there, and the driver, he was talking. He's like, "Man, you play ball?" I said, "Nah, I'm retired, man. I don't play no more." He said, "What team you play for?" I said, "New Orleans." He said, "What year?" I said, 09 to 12.
You went
He
nuts.
said, "What's your name?" I said, "Jonathan Casillas." Call his boy. "Hey, man, you know Jonathan Casillas?" He said, "Yeah, man, he played linebacker." He said, "Damn, bro." He said, "Nice to meet you." Gave me a big ass hug when I got up. Took all my bags. He said, "Bro, I appreciate you so much, bro. Like, thank you so much." That's the love you get, and it's different here in Jersey. You know how it is in Jersey, and this is why I appreciate Jersey, because Jersey, it ain't like they're gonna celebrate you, but they also gonna be like, "Motherfucker, you suck."
It's definitely tough love around
So
here.
it's definitely tough love, but that's why I embrace playing in New York. You know, I'm playing in front of my hometown team, bro. I had 18 tickets for every game.
That's
Sick. And I got my family, my daughter's there. You know, like, my daughter didn't really get to go to many games. She was so young. And then, you know, I got all my family, my friends, like, I got teachers, cousins, like, people coming to the game. Everybody get to watch me. I get to look up and see them in the stands. So New Orleans was definitely a special place. You can't take away what that meant to that city, but then also playing, like, you know, fighting in the Madison Square Garden. Like, when you in front of your fucking hometown crowd, bro, win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw, bro.
Special.
Like, it's special. You know what I mean? I get to pick up my daughter after the fight, after the game. I'm thinking I'm fighting this shit. I ain't never fucking fight in my life. So I fucking pick my daughter up after the game, and it's just it's such a great feeling. I'm walking out with 17 members of my family.
That's
we
cool.
we all
That's
going to
cool.
my house after this. We gonna get the chef. He gonna cook for us. So for me, it's maybe 1A, 1B. I still work for the Giants now, so a great organization. I do a lot of work for them in the community. I do radio, I do TV. So I love the organization, and I'm not really in contact with nobody from the Patriots. You know, we had our 10-year anniversary. I don't know what happened. Nobody called my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if they had one or not. Maybe they got tired of having them shits because they got too many fucking rings.
What was it like playing the Eagles, man? Because they say those fans over there are the fucking craziest of the crazy.
Yeah, they like, you pull in there, like, they egging. They hit the bus with batteries and shit like that. But I love that shit, bro. Like, I love talking shit to fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love.
So you do that? Do you fans talk shit? You talk shit back?
Yeah, a little bit. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say certain things and shit. You know what I mean? But, like, not too much. Like, I was a captain. I had to, like, you know, sometimes I was called in the defense, so I had to be focused and shit like that. But every now and again, if we winning and it's late in the game and I hear a fan yapping, I'll turn around and talk some shit to him a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
That's fucking amazing.
Real quick before we
Wrap
it up. You're saying you're banged up. You ever do stem cells?
Nah, I never did.
I don't think Frankie was here. You said you went to Columbia. He actually went to Columbia to Bioaccelerator.
To get stem cells?
Yeah. But I got a spot in Jersey. It's right in Rutherford, actually.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's close by me. I'm fucking 15 minutes away from there.
Yep.
I got a spot.
Great
to do
spot.
stem cells. Like, out of the country, you could do more because they could clone the stem cells. So you can duplicate them so you get more. But here, you still get super high quality stem cells.
Yeah. And they're injecting into, like, the traumas area?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yep. I've had them in my
Bruh, that bitch
shoulder
go
a million times. Yeah.
They get a ton of
shoot my ass up,
They
boy.
would love you, bro, because they get a ton of athletes in there, and they're good. They're really good people. So
Yeah, let's chop. I want to know learn more
for
about
sure.
that, for real. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, man, we can wrap on that. Jonathan Casillas, thank you so much for coming in, brother. Been an honor, a pleasure, man. Thank you for making time for us.
Tell people where they could, follow you, maybe catch out some of your stuff. I I know you do a little. You starting to do a little motivational speaking?
Well, I've done it. I've done it in the past. I've done some keynote speaking and shit like that for like graduations. I do a lot of talking on the radio for the Giants. On Instagram, I'm Jade_52. On X, I'm Jay Casillas 52. I believe I'm really on the gram. I suck at social media.
Yeah, I'm not
bro.
the best either.
I'm trying to be better at it, but I suck. But you know what I have been doing recently. Like I got my nonprofit finally after fucking 10 years in the NFL and shit. And I finally got my nonprofit. It's called the Jonathan Casillas Forward Progress Foundation. And we help at-risk youth, you know, and I just finished my 10th year from my camp. You know, that was last month. And we added an extra day for like the older, more experienced football players. And now we are doing an autistic football skills clinic. Wow. It's adaptive sensory autistic clinic for the kids. We're probably going to do it in the YMCA in Piscataway. So that's where I was just coming from before I came here.
I don't know if you know Todd Frazier a lot, but he gives a lot back to the community. He does a lot with, what is it called, Field of Dreams?
Children's Hospital.
Oh, yeah. What's
it is Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, right? Which helps a lot of disabled youth be able to play and participate as well. You know what I mean?
And this is football guy?
Yeah. No. He's a baseball guy.
Baseball guy?
Yeah. Jersey guy, though.
Yep.
Oh, I might have heard of him.
Yeah.
He won the home run derby back in like 20.
He was on the Little League team that won.
Yeah, he won the Times. He won the Little League when the Times were world.
He's played for the Yankees. He played for the Cincinnati Reds.
I heard the name.
He's great guy. But he lives right here in Tom's River. But gives a lot back to the community.
I'm all about.
Maybe
that,
you guys somehow link up and do some shit together.
For sure.
But great
I'm
guy.
always down for that shit, bro. For real.
Yeah. Well, yo, thanks for coming on. Anytime you want to stop in, you're welcome.
Absolutely, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Much love, man. Y'all cool.
You got to sign the board before you leave. We got to grab a pic with you, John. John, I'm calling you John. White guy. White guy calls you John.
Told you,
right?
old white guys call me John. I called it. Didn't I say that?
Listen, you know what the whitest state in America is?
Maine.
The whitest state in America. He can't help himself, right?
Oh, that's
you
funny,
called it, bro. You called it when you got it. All right.
He said old white people. He said, as a matter of fact.
JC. You did call that.
What's up, guys? Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. You can find the links in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this episode, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Your support keeps us growing.